Hola y bienvenidos a esta presentación del subjuntivo con frases impersonales. This presentation will discuss how to use the present subjunctive with impersonal expressions. An impersonal expression is formed by using s, a form of ser, specifically s plus an adjective plus the word que. These three things are what you need to make up an impersonal expression. And most impersonal expressions require the subjunctive mood. They express someone's opinion, not necessarily a fact, and they also can serve as a form of influence. It is necessary that you walk in the hallway, means that you're not walking in the hallway now, and we don't know if you will, but because it's unknown, we need the subjunctive mood. Caminar is an AR verb, so as you can see, we used camines, the opposite ending, to form the present subjunctive to form. Another example is that it is not important that my students write a lot of pages. No es importante que mis estudiantes escriban muchas páginas. We need escriban, the opposite ending of escribir, in order to show the present subjunctive that is necessary for this impersonal expression. Now, there's a lot of impersonal expressions in Spanish. These are some common ones that you'll see on worksheets or in your classes, but there are many, many, many more. Notice in the second example, when I say it's not important that my students write, we put a no in front of the impersonal expression, which is still an impersonal expression and still requires a subjunctive. Any of these personal expressions to the left require the subjunctive, whether there's a no in front of it or not. So one thing to be careful of is as soon as you take off the que of any of these impersonal expressions, you need simply the infinitive. Here, this says it's necessary to walk in the hallway. I'm not trying to influence you and say that it's necessary you walk in the hallway. It's just in general necessary to do something. It's important to be prepared. Estar preparados. We need the infinitive here because es importante does not have que. It's not an impersonal expression, and we need the subjunctive. We need the infinitive with any of these without the que. So there are a few impersonal expressions that require the indicative mood, not the subjunctive. These impersonal expressions express certainty or the truth. Es verdad que ella es la mejor atleta en el equipo tells us that it is true that she is the best athlete on the team. While es verdad que is an impersonal expression, it certainly looks like one. Since this is telling the truth, we do not use a subjunctive when something is certain or is true. Es obvio que yo tengo mis papeles en orden. Since something is obvious, again, we don't use tenga. We use tengo, the indicative, to show that something is true. A couple other phrases that you'll see are es verdad que, it's true that. Es obvio que, it's obvious that. Es cierto que, it's true that, or it's certain that. And no es dudoso, it is not doubtful that. Practiquemos. Please pause the video to practice a few of the present subjunctive forms. There are also a couple that require the indicative or the infinitive. Number one, es bueno que ellos lleguen temprano. Here we have an impersonal expression, es bueno que, which requires a subjunctive mood. Llegar is a verb that ends in gar, so we do need a gun in the present subjunctive. No es necesario que tú me compres. The AR verb requires the E endings to show the subjunctive. This is an example of an impersonal expression with no in front of it, but we still need the present subjunctive. Es obvio que Rafaela es fantástica. Here, since it's obvious that Rafaela is fantastic, we need the indicative of ser. Es necesario llamar a tus padres a menudo. It's necessary to call your parents often. This requires the infinitive because we don't have que at the end of the impersonal expression. Es una lástima que, it's a shame that. This is an impersonal expression. Pierda is the present subjunctive necessary. And finally, es horrible is also an impersonal expression which requires a subjunctive. Sepan is the subjunctive form of saber, is the present subjunctive form of saber. Gracias por ver este video y te deseo mucho éxito.